All right, friends, starting off laying down. Lay down, close your eyes. Smoosh your whole back into the floor. Get your shoulder blades underneath your rib cage so that your chest feels really big and it kind of domes upward. Should feel good. Breathe deeply into your big chest. And then find that you can just relax, closing your eyes, taking some big breaths. Big, long, slow inhales and exhales. And as you find the very tip top of each inhale and the very, very, very bottom of each exhale, feel tension melting out of your body. Feel a sense of spaciousness and release, creating more space in your torso with your breath. And cultivating strength in your belly muscles as you draw them inward on the exhale. Continue to invite in that new clean breath. Okay, exhaling all the old breath, cleaning out your lungs. Notice any parts of your body that might be holding some tension. Check your jaw. That's usually somewhere that we hold tension. Check your forehead and around your eyes. Check your hips and shoulders. Intentionally relax anywhere that needs a little extra intentional help. Okay, keep your big breath. Keep it slow, keep it deep breath, and keep that focus on your body in this moment. And we'll start to move a little bit. So we'll start off with some windshield wipers to massage your hips and low back a bit. Bring your feet up by your hips with the knees pointed up. And of course, walk your feet closer if you want this to be quite gentle. Walk your feet further away from each other if you'd like a more deep opening into your hips. And you'll start to drop your knees to one side and drop them to the other. And finding some nice gentle movement in hips and low back. And we might get some pops. There might have some adjustments, and that's okay, as long as it feels good. So feel the low back getting slowly, gently wrung out. And of course, as you start to warm up into this, your hips will start to loosen up a little bit. You can start to drop the knees lower, and you decide how you want that to feel. Next time your knees point up at center, pause in there and just drop them together. And keep your feet apart from each other as you drop the knees inward. Allow this to make a little tent shape in your legs. And see if you could press your low back a bit closer to the floor, kind of releasing that arch in the low back to be more neutral, okay? And that might feel like a sense of relief in your low back, I hope. So rest your lower body here. Let's get the upper body moving. Bend your elbows into cactus arms. And press your cactus arms into the floor so that you're slightly resisting the floor, and you'll feel your chest rise up toward the ceiling as you press gently down. Now keep your palms facing up. We'll do big cactus, tiny cactus, and start to wake up your arms and your shoulders and your back. So with your inhale, reach your hands out away from you, keeping those hands on the floor, palm up. With your exhale, bend your elbows and pull them down by your ribs, tiny cactus. Palms still face up. Inhale, big cactus. Exhale, tiny cactus. So we want to keep those arms grounded, scraping them across the floor. Keep breathing and moving. Feel your back and shoulders wake up as your chest gets a nice release. Let's do 3 more cactus movements. 2 more. Last one. All right, next time your arms come down, pause here, and then bring your fingertips close to your ears so that your elbows point more out, okay? Kind of like a hands up kind of position, okay? And then from here, pick your feet up off the floor so that your knees float over your hips, okay? And if you feel a lot of challenge in your core and your abs here, then you'll just keep your upper body on the floor as we begin to move the lower body. So feel free to keep that gentle option open. But if you feel like you could get a little more challenged in your core and your abs, peel up your head and shoulders, but make sure your neck is still long, as if you're trying to keep creases out of your neck. And then we'll start to move opposite knee toward opposite armpit. So you can start with just bringing your right knee and your left armpit toward each other. They won't touch, okay, but they're moving toward each other. When you do that, you can extend the leg you're not using, the left leg. Bring it back through center with both knees bent. And then you'll extend the other direction. So left knee toward the right armpit as the right leg extends. And then bring it back to center. And we want to keep breathing, of course. So exhale as you twist, knee toward armpit. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to center. And keep it going. I want you to just find a rhythm. So if you're doing this with your upper body on the floor, you are, of course, just moving your legs. Okay, and that's a nice challenge in itself. So this little challenge for your core and your abs is something that we can cultivate to help release any tension in your low back. Anytime we have an unhappy low back, we know that means we need to strengthen the core and the abs a bit, because that tells the low back that it can let go, that it's safe to just let go. So let's do 3 more on each side. Exhaling, inhaling, exhale, inhale. Keep that neck long. 2 more on each side. Last one on each side. Nice. When you come back through center, release your head and shoulders back to the floor. Tuck your hands one behind each knee and go ahead and rock yourself up to a seat. Come on up. All right, friends, from here, you can point your knees out to one side And we'll flip it over to hands and knees. Okay, I'll meet you here. Let's get the right leg out behind here. Just send it out there. And then make sure that your right toes point down. This is going to give us a nice internal rotation in the right hip, which is what we're looking for. Rock some extra weight into the right hand, and you can maybe spread those right fingers really wide to give yourself an extra stable base. And then perhaps you feel comfortable reaching forward with the left hand. So hold and breathe here. Push the floor down with your grounded limbs and reach out long with your lifted limbs. Hold and breathe. Bird dog, okay, is what we call this. So notice if there's a tendency for your low back to arch toward the floor here, they may be. Now we need to counteract that tendency with a strong belly muscles lifting up and in toward the spine to make sure your low back is safe and supported. And from there, with your inhale, reach out long through the lifted arm and leg. With your exhale, pull the right knee and the left elbow into touch. Could you get your nose in there too, just close? Inhale to reach out long again. Exhale, pull it in again. Again, inhale, reach. And exhale, pull it in. Now hold here. Hold and breathe. Challenging your core, pull that knee up, breathe and push the floor. Easy option here, you can drop the left hand and just move the knee, okay, the right knee. Challenging option, you can bend the left knee and point those left toes up at the ceiling, balancing on your left kneecap. Wherever you are, take one more breath. And let it go on your exhale. All hands down, all knees down. All right, tuck your toes here, lift your knees and hips, and walk your hands back to your feet. Take a little time just to hang and swing. You can shake your head, let your neck get a little longer. Okay, remember to bend your knees enough that your fingers at least touch the floor. Okay, if you're hanging with your hips, your shoulders are up by your hips, that could be very dangerous for your back. We need to hang the shoulders down by the knees to get that sense of traction. So let's roll it up from here. Find equal weight in both of your feet. And as you inhale, press down into the floor as you roll yourself up. Lift your heart nice and high. Lift your hands nice and high. Look up. And as you exhale, drop your hips down into a chair squat. Okay, dropping those hips, pulling your knees toward each other. You can go as low as you want to go. Maybe try looking up at your hands. Inhale back up to standing nice and tall. And exhale to hinge at your hips. Fold it all the way down. Come halfway up on your inhale, look forward. And on your exhale, fold deeply. You can bend your knees here and give your legs a hug. Palms are down on the floor. Okay, with your inhale, walk yourself forward to just a momentary plank. And remember that in your plank, you can drop your knees at any time. It's still a plank. Right, with your exhale, drop down to your knees. You're back on hands and knees. Here we are. We'll do all the same stuff on the other side. So let's get the left leg out behind. And let's get the left toes to point down so we know we're internally rotating the hip. Spread those left fingers wide. Put some extra weight in that left hand. And maybe we feel comfortable reaching forward with the right. However, we can always keep two hands down and just do the leg, and that's good work too. So hold and breathe. Get a sense of how it feels to be in this posture. Protect your low back, please. Support it with strong belly muscles moving upward. And push that floor away from you. So we'll start to move, same as the other side. Inhaling, lift through the lifted arm and leg, lengthen. And exhale, pull that left knee and right elbow toward each other. They may touch, they may not. Try to get your nose close too. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, pull it in and strengthen. One more time, big breath in, lift, lengthen. And exhale, pull it in. Now hold here. Okay, you can stay right here, elbow and knee connected. You can make it more gentle with the right hand down, or you can spice it up by bending that right knee, pointing the right toes up, little balance challenge, one more breath, wherever you are. Whew. And let it go. Come down to hands and knees. Tuck your toes here, lift your hips and your knees. And again, walk your hands back to your feet. And take some time just shaking it out. Okay, at this point, maybe practice rocking forward your weight onto your toes and your weight back onto your heels. Onto the toes, onto the heels. Remember, bend those knees enough that you can touch the floor. Okay, find weight in your feet equal on right and left, front and back. And then with your inhale, press yourself up to standing. Roll it up. Reach up extremely tall. Exhale here, drop into your hips. Pull your knees toward each other as low as you want to go. Inhale, lifting that heart. Exhale, fold yourself in half. You can bend the knees really generously if you want. Halfway up for your inhale. Then a very big fold on your exhale. Palms are down. With your inhale, walk yourself forward to a momentary plank. Okay, with your exhale, lower yourself slowly to the floor. You can use your knees down. All right, just rest your forehead on the floor here. Your palms are under your shoulders. You can close your eyes if you like. Just notice how it feels to be on the floor, as grounded as you can be. Pull your elbows in towards your ribs as if your elbows are magnetically attracted to your rib cage. Okay, keep them just like that, like they're part of your ribs. And then start to engage your glutes so that you feel your tailbone trying to point at the ground. Okay, how would that feel? Try to get that tailbone to point and curl down to the floor. So keep those glutes engaged. Keep the tailbone tucking. Do you feel a sense of lifting in your belly button? It may actually leave the floor and it may not, but it has a sense of lifting either way. Keep that. Keep the belly button lift. Keep the tailbone tuck. And as you inhale, pull your hands on the mat. Think of pulling the mat back towards your feet as you lift your heart up just enough. And then exhale to set it down. And we'll do that a few more times. Cobras, inhaling, lift your cobra hood. And exhale, set it down. Now take it a few more times. I want to make sure that you're pulling on the mat and not pushing. Why is that important? When you lift your heart, when you extend your spine, you want to add length to it as you extend it, don't you? You don't want to just add length, or you don't want to extend it while you're compressing it. And if you would push yourself up, you would compress your spine. So always pull. Let's do 3 more cobras. You can keep them really gentle and low. Or you can make them really deep and high. 1 more. Keep those elbows in. And then we're letting it go, friends. So next time you come down, pause, tuck your toes, and press yourself up through hands and knees or through a plank to a downward facing dog. And I'll meet you there. And walk it out. Walk out your heels in your downward facing dog. Okay, you're pushing the floor away from you, lengthening your torso on all sides. And remember your options. You can modify with bending your knees or dropping to your knees at any time. But start to pull the elbows inward toward each other. Think of pulling the knees inward toward each other slightly as well. We're not super warm here, so we won't spend a lot of time. We'll get a little warmer. So I'd like to build a little bit of a ladder flow with you. So we'll just build a flow by adding one thing at a time. And here we go. Inhaling here, lift your right leg up and out behind. With your exhale, send that right foot forward and drop it outside your right hand. Okay, inhaling here, lift your right arm up to the sky. So you're finding a big twist. And we'll just enjoy this twist for a little while as we move in it. With your exhale, bend your right elbow and send your right elbow, toward your left wrist. You can bend your left elbow to get it as close to the wrist. Okay, bend that right elbow close to the wrist as you like. Okay, inhale to reach up, twisting open. Exhale, right elbow to your left wrist, twist closed. Okay, again, inhale, twist up. Exhale, bring it down. One more time, bring it up and open, and let's hold here in this big twist. So if you need to, you can drop the back knee, and you're still here. You're still in the same place. It's just more gentle. If you feel pretty good here, think of strengthening both shoulders so you're active in both shoulders. Both elbows are slightly bent, and you're going to start to press your feet against the floor. Push the floor away and slightly draw the feet inward toward each other as you lift that left knee and drop the right hip. So building some warmth and some heat here. We'll take 3 more long, slow breaths. You can look wherever feels natural. Last breath. All right, as you're ready, let it go. We'll drop that right hand back underneath the right shoulder. Let's see if we can come up to a 3-leg dog. So inhaling here, right leg up and out behind. And exhale, right foot down. Downward facing dog. So take a moment to walk it out, and we'll do the other side. Are you ready? Here we go. Left leg up and out behind. Take a big breath in. Exhale here, left foot down on the outside of your left hand. So you're in a lunge. And then with your inhale, sweep that left hand up to the ceiling, twisting up to look at it. Same thing we did on the other side, okay? With your exhale, bend that left elbow and bring it towards your right wrist. Now you might need to bend both elbows to get as close as you like. That's fine. Inhale, reach it up, twist open. Again, exhale, left elbow to right wrist. Inhale, twist up and open. One more, exhale. And inhale. Reach it up and pause here, hold and breathe. Now you can drop the back knee, the right knee, okay? That's not a problem. Go ahead and do that if you need to. If you're feeling pretty good though, I want you to bend both elbows, activate both shoulders nice and strong, and think about lifting the right knee as you drop into the left hip. Breathe into your legs, resist the floor with your legs. Find that long, slow breath. One more breath. Very nice. Drop that left hand under your left shoulder, and we'll come out the same way we came in. 3-leg dog. Inhale here, left leg up and out behind. And exhale, left foot down next to the right, downward facing dog. Here we are. Take a few breaths, and we'll keep going. We'll add something to our little ladder flow. So inhale here, right leg up and out behind you. Exhale here, right foot down outside your right hand. Just like before, inhaling here, right arm up. Now I'm going to give you a really funky challenge here, okay? Are you ready? With your exhale, you're going to point your left heel to the left. You're going to drop on the outer edge of your left foot. And you're also going to point your right toes to the right. You're going to drop on the outer edge of your right foot. So all your toes are now pointed over to the right, okay? And this is called a horizon lunge, okay? So you're in this funky lunge, all toes pointed to the right. And you can drop your left hip nice and low to the ground. Check that out. You can drop it low if you like, and you can also pick it up high. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna drop the left hip nice and low, and then we're gonna pick it up high, pushing the floor with the right leg. Get your right arm involved. Exhale to drop the hip. Inhale to pick it up. 3 more times just like that. Exhale. And inhale. 2 more. Last one. Should feel nice on that left outer hip, on that low back. Okay, next time you come up out of this, drop that right hand underneath your right shoulder. You're gonna point the right toes forward again, come up on the left toes again. You're back in the same lunge that we started in. And let's come up to a 3-leg dog, just like we did before. Inhaling here, right leg up and out behind you. And exhale, drop that right foot next to the left. Back in downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Here we go. Inhaling here, left leg up and out behind. Exhale, left foot forward, drop it outside your left hand. Okay, now you know what we're gonna do here. We're gonna twist like we did before. Inhaling, left arm up. Now, here is where we're going to transition to that horizon lunge. So you can drop the right heel to the floor, so the right toes point to the left, and point the left toes to the left as well. So when you look at your toes, they're all pointing to the left. And you can start dropping the right hip nice and low and picking it up nice and high. And we're gonna breathe just like that. Exhale, hip down. Inhale, hip up. And you can sweep that left arm over your head. So we have a great release for both hips and into the low back. 3 more. Just finding a little rhythm. 2 more. Last one. Next time you come down, drop that left hand underneath the left shoulder, point those left toes forward, and come back up on the right toes. And we're back in the same lunge where we started. 3-leg dog on your inhale, left leg up and out behind. And exhale to drop that left foot next to the right. Downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here in downward facing dog, or you can take a break in child's pose or on your hands and knees, just noticing how your legs and your shoulders are feeling. All right, friends, starting to push the hands and feet into the floor here in downward facing dog. Thinking of lifting your kneecaps. Maybe that allows your heels to drop more readily to the floor. So let's just add one more thing to our ladder flow, and then we'll let it go, okay? Here we go. Inhaling here, right leg up and out behind. Exhale here, right foot down next to your right hand. Inhaling here, up to that twist. So looking up at that right hand as you reach up. Exhale, spin onto the outer edge of each foot, okay? Now from your horizon lunge, here's where we're gonna go. We're gonna send this right foot over next to the left foot into a side plank. Can you do this with the left knee on the floor? Absolutely. You can make it a supported side plank. So left knee down or not. I'm just gonna have us do 3 breaths here, and we're gonna lift the hips nice and high, and we're gonna drop them nice and low. So big breath in, lift the hips. You can do this with the left knee down. And exhale, drop the hips, okay? 2 more, big breath in. Big exhale. Building side strength, okay? Last one. And big exhale. Nice. Drop the right hand underneath your right shoulder, okay? You're gonna send that right foot back next to your right hand. Pop up that left heel. You're back in the same lunge we started in. Inhale here, one last 3-leg dog on this side. Right leg up and out behind. And exhale, drop that right foot next to the left. Let's try the other side. Here we go. We added a side plank. Inhale here, left leg up and out behind. Exhale, left foot forward, outside the left hand. Inhale to your twist, reaching up with that left hand. Exhale to your horizon lunge, rolling onto the outer edge of each foot, okay? Inhaling here, send the left foot to meet the right in your side plank. You can put the right knee down, okay? We're gonna do 3 hips up and 3 hips down. So inhaling here, lift that hip. Exhaling here, drop that hip. We're gonna do 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. You got this. 1 more, inhale. 1 more, exhale. Nice. Drop the left hand under your left shoulder. We're gonna step the left foot back forward into the lunge, back where we started. Inhaling here, left leg up and out behind you. Exhale, left foot down, next to the right. From here, walk to your hands. Walk all the way there. You can bend your knees really generously. Grab your elbows. And just hang and swing. All right, notice how the backs of the legs feel. We got them quite warm. We got the side body warm, the hips, the shoulders. From here, let's get the palms down on the floor and just bend your knees until you can come all the way down to a seat. Okay, you can lean back on your hands here. Shake out your legs, do some windshield wipers. And then find a very comfortable straddle for yourself. So it doesn't have to be a crazy straddle. And I'll turn to face you so you can see what I mean if you need a visual. So just take your feet out away from each other. And it doesn't really have to be crazy at all, okay? If it's hard to sit up straight, then you can just bend your knees. And that really does make a big difference, helping to sit up straight. So I just want to take the right knee here. You can bend that right knee and pull the right foot in close to your hips. And take some time getting yourself settled in. Same thing here. You can bend the left knee if it's hard to sit up. Okay, it's a lot easier to sit up with that knee bent. So we'll start to lengthen and open up that right side. It's going to feel great on your low back as we add a whole lot of extra space there. So left hand to the right hip, grab nice and tightly. Right arm up. And remember to have a long neck. So a lot of space around your ears, between your ears and shoulders, okay? With your inhale, think of pressing down into that right hip as you reach up through the right armpit, so lengthening that right side. With your exhale, push your legs against the floor. So you want to feel that you're almost leaning out to the left passively, like you're not even trying to. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, press into that right hip. Take a few more breaths. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, ground that hip. Take your time, there's no rush. You have plenty of time just to be here, opening up that right side to the ceiling. So as you're ready, you might decide to support yourself here by putting that left elbow on your left thigh. I'd say just above your knee. Try not to press down on your kneecap. You might want to bend that right elbow into a cactus arm and peel your armpit in the right side of your chest open to the ceiling, getting some great heart opening, chest opening. Take some really nice breaths here. If you're feeling pretty good, you can take the left elbow to the floor inside the left knee and continue to revolve that heart up and open. Take a few more breaths here. Remember to keep that right hip grounded. Do you feel how it kind of wants to lift up? Okay, it's gonna do that. So keep it grounded. You have to be firm with it. And notice as you press down into the right hip, do you feel a sense of release across your low back, your right outer hip, maybe? One last breath right here. As you're ready to come out, use the right fingers on the floor near your left leg to press yourself up, help yourself up. Okay, let's take this right knee now and point it straight up at the ceiling and plant that foot by your hips. Use your left arm to hold the right leg very close to your body, like you wanted to squish it into your chest. And then you'll take your right fingers behind you. And I like to use the right fingers to press the floor and make myself a little taller. So give yourself that extra length in your spine, which is ideal when you're twisting. And you'll just look over the right shoulder and breathe. Remember to keep yourself grounded, so actively moving the hips and the legs downward. But you're also feeling buoyant, equally buoyant as the top of your head lifts toward the sky. Inhale into your chest, big chest. And exhale into your strong belly, supporting those belly muscles that support your low back. One more big breath right here, friends. And let's release that twist, okay? From here, push that right knee back to the floor. But as a result of that twist that we just did, now we're more facing out toward the left foot. And as a matter of fact, go ahead and orient yourself in that direction now so that the right foot steps on the left inner thigh and your upper body is facing your left foot. Same here. If you have trouble sitting up straight, it doesn't feel easeful, just pick your left knee up, put a bend in it. It's so much easier that way. Fingertips grounded around the left leg, and your spine is extremely long here as you attempt to move your heart in the direction of your left big toe. Does it matter how close it gets? Absolutely not. Okay, what you're looking for is a sense of special, pleasant release across the back of the left leg, rolling up through your glutes and your low back, perhaps even all the way up to the back of your neck. Take your time. You can think long spine, inhale. And feel your legs push down into the floor on the exhale. Use your lower body here. Heart forward, inhale, long neck. Legs push the floor on your exhale. Your elbows might come down here, okay? Your head might drop. But even though your spine is obviously rounding, you're doing your best to keep it long as you can. Put a nice flex in your left ankle here to get the calf to open up. And put a nice lift in your left kneecap. It wants to be near your hip, and that'll allow your hamstrings to open up. Take your last long, slow breath right here. And start to walk yourself up. Take your time. There's no rush at all. Okay, you can drop your hands behind you here, lean back, and kick out your legs to shake them out. And then find that straddle again, that nice, easy straddle, nothing crazy. Okay, remembering to bend your knees if it's hard to sit up straight. And this time we'll bring the left foot in, bending that left knee. And you'll tuck that left foot in very close to your hips. Okay. All right, beginning to get into the left side now. That's where we'll work. So right hand to the left hip, grab on tight, left arm up. Remember to keep a lot of space around your ears, okay? Like you're holding a big beach ball. And then we'll start to lengthen the spine on the inhales. Okay, exhale, drop that left hip into the floor like an anchor. Take your time, you have so much time. Lengthen and ground. So you want to feel space peeling open around that left hip into the low back. Maybe up into your armpit and your rib cage as well. Okay, at some point, you're going to want to drop that right elbow onto the right thigh and use it as a little bit of support. We can cactus the left arm from there and start to peel that left armpit open to the ceiling. You may look up. Breathe into your big rib cage. If this is pretty spacious and you feel pretty good, you can take that right elbow to the floor inside your right knee. Take your last breath here in this fantastic side bend. As you're ready to come out, use the left fingers on the floor by your right knee to help yourself up. And from here, this is a great time for us to twist. So pick up that left knee, point it up, and use the right arm to hold the left leg super close to you. Squish it in towards your belly and your chest. Then you can use the left fingers behind you to push the floor, make yourself a little taller, and look over that left shoulder. Nice breath. So when you're twisting, you're always looking to have the longest spine that you can. And it helps to keep the legs grounding and the top of the head lifting. You're also looking to use the breath as deeply as you can and make the most of it. So your inhales are truly filling your rib cage. And your exhales are truly using your strong belly muscles. One more breath here in your twist. And start to untwist yourself, come back around, and let's push this left knee to the floor now, okay? And you probably noticed that because of that twist, you're facing out towards your right foot now, okay? Arrange your hips and shoulders to square off on that right big toe. Remember, if it's hard to sit up tall, bend that right knee. You can pick it up. Makes it so much easier. Fingers down around the right leg. We have a long spine inhale. And on the exhale, you're using your legs to push the floor down. And that's going to give you that folding forward power. Okay, it does not matter how far you fold. You're looking for pleasant release across the back of the right leg. Long spine inhale. Resist the floor with your legs as you exhale. Okay, keep that neck long, keep the heart moving forward. As you settle in, maybe you want to deepen the sensation of opening in your right leg by flexing the right ankle very strongly and moving that right kneecap as if up towards your right hip. That helps open up the back of the leg. Take your last breath in this forward fold. And start to come out. Take your time. Use your hands to walk yourself back up. No rush. Okay, from here, take both your feet out in front of you. Again, shake your legs out. You can lean back. Give them some windshield wipers. Okay, and that was a lot of folding. Okay, some great release for your back body. And now let's just counter that with a teensy tiny little gentle back bend. So next time your knees point up, just pause them right there and put your feet on the floor. So just enough bend in your knees that they're somewhat bent. And you can take your hands underneath your shoulders so that your fingers point back at you. Okay, palms down, fingers point at you. From there, drop to your elbows. Okay, and make sure your elbows are underneath your shoulders. That's where we want them. So notice you can use your shoulder blades here. Think of using the plates of your shoulder blades to scoop your rib cage up. Okay, so visualize it. Use those shoulder blades. Lift your rib cage up toward the ceiling. And I want you to keep that sense of lifted rib cage. Your sternum is lifting toward the ceiling. Put a nice tuck in your chin so that the back of your neck is extremely long. And maybe stay right here. If this is enough opening in the front of your shoulders and your chest, you can stay right here. If you want a little bit more, keeping the back of your neck long, you'll start to drop the back of your head closer to the floor, but keep that chin tucked in so that you can still talk and you can still breathe all the time. Take a few breaths here into that big chest. Maybe one more long, slow breath in fish pose. When you're ready to come out, pull your chin back into your chest if you dropped your head. And then you just need to move your elbows out away from each other and bring yourself all the way down to the floor. You made it. Extend your legs, extend your arms, and rest. So the opposite of when we began this practice and we harnessed the breath and we began to control the length and the depth, let go of all control of your breath here. Just let it be free and wild and natural. Allow your body to just breathe on its own. It already knows what to do. Allow your muscles and bones to fall heavily into the floor. Release any effort that might be holding on. Put a little smile on your face and let your jaw hang open. And notice all the pleasant sensations of this moment. Little sounds you hear. Immerse yourself in the luxury of just being present. Nothing to do, nothing to undo. This is a wonderful moment. Friends, please give yourself as long as you can to rest, just like this, letting your practice soak in. And this is where I'll leave you for our practice today. Thanks so much for joining me.